Well, good morning, folks. I've been up quite a while, since about 4 o'clock, I think, and the reason I got up so early was because it was really cold, and I thought it shouldn't be that cold. I wonder if there's a clear sky, and there was. I looked out the tent window, and we just had a perfectly clear sky, and so I got up and took a few Astro shots, which I didn't expect to get the opportunity to do that today, because the forecast was for cloud. So it just goes to show, if there is a half decent chance that the forecast might be a bit ambiguous, if it's even a 50-50 chance, you've just got to get out there and make the most of it. And so I've got some really nice shots this morning, I think, both some star shots looking towards the lake, with some mist on it, and just also some really quite nice intimate landscape shots as well, of the sun as it rises, just glancing off some of the grasses and things here. So I've got to say, all in all, it's been a really nice morning. The wind has died down. There's hardly a breath of wind compared to last night, and so it's been a really quiet night. And I did get a few hours of good sleeping, which is always nice to have. So I'm just going to turn the camera around now and show you a bit of what this morning looks like from a higher vantage point. I think I'll come back here again, because there's more to do, there is more to see. You know, I've hardly spent any time in amongst the trees over here, and I know there's stuff to shoot in there, if only I had the time to do it. There we go, all packed up, and a nice clear site. I mean, it is quite off the beaten track, but there are advantages of that, of course, that you're a bit less likely to get disturbed, and it's just so quiet. Now, it's just possible that in the next few minutes or so the sun may come out, so there are little breaks in the cloud, but there might just be a bright spot, and I'm hoping that there'll be a bright spot just on the slopes, the other side of the reservoir. If I'm really lucky, it might pick out that hut, and I might get a really nice reflection shot. Well, that's the first time I've seen that, where there's some ripples in the water over there. I was just watching. I wish I'd been filming, but a fish jumped up clean out of the water, completely cleared the water. I can only assume it was after some kind of insect or other. Now, I'm loving this tree here in the water. I think that looks great. So I'm thinking potentially a long exposure shot. I'll try with and without. Definitely a polarizer to cut down some of the reflections on the lake. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to set up, see what we get. I'm trying to frame this so that it's wide enough an angle to be able to get the main upright of the tree in about the 1/3 position on the right hand side of the frame. I may try other compositions as well. I'm relatively tight in, and I've taken a quick test frame without any kind of filters on, and now I'm going to set up firstly with the polarizer, which will cut down some of the reflections that I don't want off the water. Hopefully it's not going to cut out all the reflections, because we want some. So we'll give that a go, and then I'm going to try a long exposure shot, because that'll really smooth out the surface of the lake behind as well. I'm using a quite a wide aperture because I really want this tree to stand out from the background as well. So if I use a small aperture, everything's going to be in focus and it's really not going to stand out. So I'm going to throw the background out of focus with a wide aperture. The widest I can get on this particular lens is f4, but I think that'll do for this. Catch you in a minute. So I wasn't completely happy with the composition there, so I came in a little bit closer, went wider, and I've put the tree, the centre part of the tree, right in the centre of the frame. I've slowed this shot down as much as I can. It's actually quite bright now. It's 9 o'clock, the sun's well up, and so I've taken the ISO down to 100. I've put a polarizer on. I've also put a soft grad on to make sure that the sky isn't too highly exposed, and then I've put the Lee 10 stop filter on, the big stopper, as well. So that's got me about a 10-second exposure, and in these conditions sadly that's as slow as I'm going to get it. While I was setting all of that up, a little bit of wind picked up, so I haven't quite got the nice glassy smooth surface of the lake that I was hoping to get. And it does mean that the reflection, because it's a 10-second shot, the reflection will show movement, but there's not a great deal that I can do about that. But I think I'm happy with the result. Little tip here, always have some gaffer tape on you. I'll show you why. You'll notice on my camera here there's a bit of gaffer tape over the eyepiece, and that's because I'm used to using my D800, and it has a built-in eyepiece curtain, so that if you're doing a long exposure you just slide that across. It's built into the camera and you don't get any nasty long exposure lines across your image, which you do if you don't cover the eyepiece normally. So I didn't have my eyepiece for the D5500. I've no idea where it is these days, but I always have a bit of gaffer tape with me when I come camping, because you never know what it's going to be used for. In fact, it's not actually gaffer tape, it's Gorilla Tape. It's a small roll of black Gorilla Tape. Definitely worth having a bit of Gorilla Tape with you. You never know what you're going to need it for. I think I'm actually quite happy with this. I think by the time I get that on the computer at home on Lightroom, I'm going to be able to do something quite nice with that. Anyway, time is getting on, and I think it's probably about time I should be heading back to Southampton. So I'm going to pack up my gear, go find the car. No doubt I'll find a couple of other shots I want to take along the way, but in theory I'm going to make my way back now. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this particular trip. There's been no drama. Nothing's gone massively wrong. There hasn't been a wild storm. It hasn't hailed. I haven't got blown off my feet. I haven't got soaking wet. There hasn't been fog. But I tell you what, I've really enjoyed the photography this time round. And it was quite nice to get a few hours sleep as well. And the opportunity to do some Astro stuff as well, which was completely unexpected, was fantastic. So, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave comments. I try and reply to them all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.